Here we go. I'm making the videos I want to make. I do not care that this is a trend that has been dead for over 2 years. This is something I want to do, so I'm doing it. The second I saw that this was a thing, I knew I wanted to do it, so I have intentionally never watched any musician reacts videos. And yeah, I deserve to make the video that I want to make. I had a lot of technical problems. The camera stopped working, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. I asked some people on Instagram if they know of any scenes from TV or movies or anything with music producers in them, and I'm gonna react to them because I wanna. Some other things that are happening. I released my own original song called Dive. It is out right now. It was really fun to make. You can go listen to it now. Trying to make more original music and release it on a regular basis. So if you go into the description, there's actually a link where you can listen to 2 demos I'm contemplating making my next single right now, and you can actually vote on which one I work on next. Also, the next video I do is gonna be another episode of DYD where I develop people's demos. So if you want me to produce a little bit of your demo for fun and put it in a video, go to the DYD link in the description. Overwhelmingly, the first one is Pitch Perfect 2, the scene with Snoop Dogg.
Walking in the winter wonderland.
Right, hold up, just hold up for a second.
Wait, hold up. Man, I sound awesome right now. What are you talking about?
Nah, it's not you, it's a tech thing. So just go ahead and take 5.
It better be a tech.
I have to use the "it's not you, it's a tech" thing. So the reason that this is funny is because obviously Snoop Dogg is a rapper, and this sound that he wants to go for is very much not in the vein of the music that he has made and that he's known for making. And that's something you do encounter sometimes if you work with like an artist who's been releasing music for a long time and they have sort of a bigger catalog and they have like a pre-existing sound with their fans. Sometimes artists will want to break out of that, like they just want to try something new. And I always recommend that if people want to try something new like this, that they always do like a side project, because the ending result is if you release something that's too different, it can sometimes be hard for your fan base to reconcile that.
Aim higher, people, okay? And be very careful what you pitch to me next.
That's a pretty terrible thing to say in a session where you need ideas. The last thing you want is people second guessing their ideas to the point where they're too afraid to say them, because that pretty much guarantees you're never gonna get any of like the good free-flowing ideas.
No, okay. Sure. Nobody else has an idea. Let's do it exactly the same way. Again.
Will do, nephew.
Another thing that they don't point out is that Snoop Dogg was basically just alone in the booth quietly for like a minute.
Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane.
His voice kind of sounds good.
Listening. A beautiful sight. We're happy tonight. Walking in the winter wonderland. Roll away.
Come Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa.
Okay, where is this coming from? So let's go back. She's playing what looks like a native instruments. It looks like a native instruments, like a contact thing. And she's like playing all these like different loops. It's like, did they have that set up for the session? Like, then why aren't they using it? You don't just have sounds on something like that. It's a MIDI controller, meaning somebody has to have a session somewhere with samples that are tuned to the key, and there's like hi-hat loops and stuff like that that are like the tempo of the song, and there's a bunch of different layers, and it's like you can't play all of that on this at one time. You can only play like a couple things at once. So like in order for this to be feasible, somebody would have needed to have all of those sounds made for her on this little thing before the session even started. So she was basically like, oh, here's an idea I have. Let's use this thing that somebody's already made.
Santa Claus comes tonight.
I'm not sure about the dubstep samples, because like the problem is that they're having is that Snoop Dogg is going for a sound that's not really his. And so the solution is, okay, well, let's throw this like beat on top of it. But like the beat itself is like this weird like dubstep electronic remix thing, which is also kind of not his sound. Like it's more of his sound than straight Christmas music, like Michael Bublé Christmas music, but it's not like close to what he does.
Santa Claus comes tonight.
Also, there's like a bunch of like synths and 808s that are like playing the chord progression. So it's like, where are those coming from? Is she playing that on the MPC? I doubt it, because there's the song that they're doing is a Christmas song, and there's a lot of like modulations and like old-timey harmonization. And playing that, you need like a piano, and you need to know the chords. So you can't just like map MIDI chords to like pads, because there would be like 15 of them.
Be something different. I can. Okay.
That was amazing, Snoop.
That actually does happen, where people will have like a totally great idea and then they'll be like, or we could do something else. Like you need to be free flowy enough to where like if your idea doesn't get picked, you're not emotionally distraught. But sometimes that means that people tend to move past their ideas quicker than they should. So the next one we're gonna watch is Leverage. So the story with this one is that these are thieves who are trying to steal a song that an evil country artist has hidden in the studio somewhere. And so one of them is trying to find it, and the other two are pretending to be an artist and a producer.
You ready, man?
Yeah.
All right.
Also, another thing, the whole joke of this episode is that he's like the big puncher murderer guy. He's like the brute strength of the group, and they're having him be the singer for this con that they're playing. But the guy who plays him on the show is Christian Kane, who's actually a really good country singer.
Now, hold up, man. It's a little pitchy. It's just a scotch. A little pitchy.
First of all, no, he wasn't.
It's pitchy. In that very same spot, right? It's a little pitchy.
If you want to talk about how not to give an artist critiques on their vocals while they're in the booth, don't just keep saying the same word over and over again. Producers are very specific on details, which is kind of their job, but at the same time, there are points where producers get too detail-oriented to the point where like they're asking their artist to not be human. Like he's saying, it's a little pitchy, but it's not. It's totally fine. And his solution is to just keep saying the same word over and over again at him. It's like if you're a producer and you try giving them an explanation, be giving them a new explanation. If they're struggling with this one part, you should be specific about what part you feel like they're not hitting, and then walk them through it. And when your new moon shines through your window, like sing it slower, give them a little bit more direction. When you just kind of keep shouting at them or saying, oh, it's not right, that doesn't really help the artist. It can get them out of the vibe of the song, because the vibe of the room now is, I don't want to be here.
Listen to me, man. Say pitchy one more time. Say pitchy one more time and see what happens. I don't even think that word means what you think it means.
It means pitchy.
Define it.
You define it.
I don't have to define it. I'm not saying it every 5 seconds.
I'm sorry. Well, I can't. I lost you. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, if that was a producer, he would probably get fired. I mean, in the dynamic of this, he's supposed to be like some big producer, and this is like a new artist. So, like, he might be able to get away with doing stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, why would you do that? Like, why would you make the artist intentionally uncomfortable and angry when the song is like a soft, delicate song, and you're trying to get him to be emotional? Like, that's terrible. You would never do that. So the next thing we're gonna look at is the ending from Spy Kids 2.
I am not going out there.
Oh, yes, you are. You're a spy, you're undercover, and you have to make them think you're a pop star.
I can't sing.
Okay, first of all, if she can't sing, why was she put on this mission? Like, I get that this is the Spy Kids world and like nothing makes sense at all, but like in the most logical sense, like if you needed a spy to pretend to be a pop star, why would you send a spy who can't sing? Also, what reason would you need for a spy to become an actual pop star? Like, I'm pretty sure whatever mission they need to go on, I'm sure there's like way easier ways of getting into somewhere other than trying to create a pop star.
Who can these
Oh,
days?
the infamous pop singers can't sing. After a while, that joke does kind of get old.
Tell you how many artists have used my Machete miracle microphone?
I can't sing.
This will
All
make
right,
you
wait.
dance like Britney Lord.
There are several things wrong with that. First of all, why is she on in the house? Like, the audience just heard her. Second of all, this is another thing. This is just another gripe that I have. Movies make it seem like you can just kind of throw auto-tune on something and that instantly makes it sound good. It doesn't. Like, you can throw auto-tune on somebody's vocals and they still sound terrible. Like, it can't fix somebody's vocal delivery. Like, if you're going, I can't sing, which is how most people who can't sing, it would just sound like, I can't sing. She wouldn't magically be Celine Dion. Also, like, I know this is 2002, so maybe it's slightly different, but live auto-tune modules are not like this weird mystical technology. You can buy them from TC Electronics. They're like a couple $100. They're not like magic.
Hey, what about me?
This will make you play like Angus Van Santana.
What do you mean it will make you play like if he can't play, are they just playing backing tracks? You can like, all right, in this fictional world, if you are not a good singer, here's this weird magic microphone that makes you a good singer, because it's like taking what you're saying out of the mic. How do you do that with a guitar? Because in my mind, you would just not plug it in and then have backing tracks playing, which I'm pretty sure is what they do. Also, they started the song just as she like pushed out, like the band was already out there. So like, what were these guys? What were these guys? Where are these? What were these guys doing while they were out there? Also, aren't these the villains from the movie? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, the song is actually kind of good. All right, wait. Why is, if he gave her the belt, why didn't she put it on before she went out there? Like, why did he have to like come out and bring it to her if she had it? Also, where has he been? Has he been like playing guitar off stage this whole time? What's he doing? Okay, so this device isn't making her dance, it's just kind of like throwing her around. So is it like shocking her? Also, I'm not even gonna get into the fact that this band consists of a bass player, a drummer, and a keyboard player, and there's like 5,000 instruments in the track. So it can make you speak Spanish? Okay, I guess the TC Electronics can't do that. So apparently Meghan Trainor saw this and was like, I want to marry that. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is just a backing track. He's not doing it. This isn't special technology. They just gave him a guitar that's not plugged in and threw him out on the stage.
What, are you surprised your gadgets work?
I just realized I never put any batteries in this.
Also, whenever there's like a movie where like there's a plot where they like fake auto-tune or fake performance, there's always the plot of, oh no, it stopped working. Like the idea is, oh, this is just in them the whole time. It's like, no, it wasn't. I mean, I guess the technology like kind of makes a little bit of sense for the universe. I mean, I'm judging this pretty harshly, but at the same time, this is Spy Kids. This is like the movie series where like, he's like, look at the world's smallest camera, and he just holds up his finger. The last one we're gonna look at is Miles Morales' Spider-Man game. Apparently there's like a section where you sample some stuff because apparently Miles Morales is a producer.
Here, little project your dad and I started back in the day. Our mixtape. Had rhymes ready and everything.
How come I never heard about this?
Cause we never finished. We sampled street noise around the way. Wanted the city to be our beat. But your dad had the masters. And after things went bad between us.
Wait. Okay, let's dial this back. Your dad had the masters, meaning they're done. The songs are done because the master is like the final thing. That's like what you put on Spotify. That's the final version. So what the heck? Also, this is a USB drive. Yeah, he hands him a USB drive. I don't know in the universe of Miles Morales how old he's supposed to be, but like, if he's like in his 30s or 40s and he and this character's dad made this mixtape when they were kids, A, I don't know if USB drives were really a thing back then. B, I don't know if there's any like publicly available music software for kid producers in Harlem, because this would be like the 80s or 90s. Even if this is like mid 90s, like I don't know if there's like a software that like two kids could get a hold of. But yeah, also he says like, we never finished this project because your dad had the masters. Like, no, if you have masters, like if you've gone through the process of making music, you would record the sound, you would make your beat, you would mix it, and then you would master it, and that master would be done. So him saying, we couldn't finish the project because your dad had the masters? I don't know what they're talking about. Also, he said they sampled the street. I don't know, like if they did that, they would have to be using like a tape recorder or a cassette recorder or something like that, because like Zoom recorders and things like that didn't really exist in like the 90s or 80s. Or like if they did, they didn't have the best audio quality, so whatever. Apparently he has a USB drive slot in his wrist.
Focus on sounds. Clear my head.
Scan the holograms and it'll unlock files on that drive I gave you. Help you figure out which sound you're looking for. Not a match though. Keep looking.
Okay, so he's got samples. He's got an original sample here that sounds pretty low quality. So it does sound like a cassette tape recording or something like that. And he's trying to find the exact same sound 30 years later. I'm not sure how well that would go.
Make sure you've got a clear line of sight. Don't want any distortion.
Okay, wait, what? Line of sight, that's like, I'll give a pass and say that he's using some ultra powerful microphone that's not visible in any way on his suit because it's Spider-Man. Maybe Machete made him the world's smallest microphone. But it's like, okay, so you have to face it, so that means it's a directional microphone, and it's really sensitive, so it's some kind of condenser. He's saying clear your line of sight so you don't have distortion. That's not, distortion is your gain. Something would be distorting if you turn the gain up on the microphone too much. That doesn't affect the direction of the microphone. Also, with this game, it's like anything, it's like there's these three things that he can look at, and those are the things that make sounds, but in reality, if you had a microphone this powerful, anywhere you pointed, it would be super loud, and you would hear anything in like super, like, great detail. But sure, this buoy and this sloshing boat are the only things that make sound.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wait. Well, let's go back. So he's using a Zoom what Zoom recorder does he have? Right, you're not picking up stuff like 100 feet away with this. Also, I'm still confused about like what the purpose of this is. He's going to try to get the samples again from the exact same sources in a better quality, I guess. But like, if it was me and you wanted to get that, like, we're using this city as our sound, why not just use the original samples? Also, another thing that they don't point out is like, in order for, it's like, okay, so the idea here is he is re-recording sounds that they recorded on these cassette tapes or whatever in like the 90s. So this technology doesn't really exist that well right now. Like, you can't get a powerful microphone that's directional and condenser like this in something that's in this form factor. So what the heck were they using in the 90s? How did they even get this? Because they were kids and they were not Spider-Man. Also, this mission is operating under the assumption that these things that create sound are in the exact same place that they were like 30 years ago, and that they sound exactly the same. No. Like, when singers are double tracking a sound, it's because them singing a single take multiple times is going to sound different every single time. And so the idea that like these sounds are going to stay exactly the same 30 years later? Okay, like this. Look at this, the waveforms match perfectly. It's like, you can't do this. If I recorded this flock of pigeons where he's at right now, and then I record that same exact flock of pigeons again, it's not gonna match up like this. But we're supposed to believe that these kids 30 years ago stood on this exact spot in the ice, looking at these exact pigeons at this exact age in this formation with the same microphone somehow. Okay, This is getting even worse. It's like dripping on ice right now. It's like that's not even gonna be the same in like a couple of minutes. That's gonna sound completely different. But okay, whatever. So none of those were really how production works. I don't know, I had fun. Maybe I'll do another one of these. Heck, they're easy to film. I will do another one of these. So post in the comments of what you want me to talk about next. All right, I'm out.